All right.
Perfect. Okay, we should be good with the recording as well. Now, kind of diving into the demo here, did you want to focus most of the time on the workflow builder and kind of plugging away at some of the things that you laid out in your email?
Yeah, let's do that. The stuff I laid out in my email. Do you happen to have the picture by any chance of what I sent you?
Oh yeah, I could find it here. I don't think it was that one.
Yeah, there we go. All
Okay,
right.
so we had this guy here, and then let's open this one here as well. Okay.
Yeah. So to dumb it down, then I guess what I'm looking for is, as you can see here, I'm going over this again because in case anybody from our providers or licensees want to take a look and see if they want to do this as well, I might as well just explain everything right now. So when someone gets on the website, I don't know today, or Soza doesn't know today, if it's a new patient or an existing patient, or somebody just, that's just, we don't know where they are in their buyer's journey. So my thought process was to change that button 60-day program to start. And that will take them to a new page, which is the next page. If you could show that, the other, yeah, it'll take them to this. And to this, they would have the option of choosing either they're on the program, they're ready to begin, they would like more information, or they just simply want to subscribe. And that's where you guys come in. So you guys are KEAP is a marketing. Is it correct? You guys a market stack? Is that what they call these nowadays? A market stack?
No, just still marketing automation. We are a CRM and a marketing automation platform for small business owners.
Okay, goodness, that's perfect. So I guess what we need from you is, by doing this, I guess your CRM can help us track, do a customized workflow for each of these. I guess I've chosen four different, let's say, people in their buyer's journey, I guess. And you guys can create it. So through you, we can create a customized workflow for each.
Yes. Now, there's a couple different ways that you can do this, and it would be depending on how these pages on the front end get structured, or maybe how you want to do it on the back end with collateral that you're sending out. So let's say we change that button to start, right? And that's just one form. I'm a brand new person, and that you click on that start button, it takes me to a form where I'm going to fill out my information. I'm a new person, and now I want to have the system start following up with me. Okay. So ultimately, for you and potentially anybody else that might watch this little white space builder, imagine you got a whiteboard behind you, you grab a piece of paper, and we start mind mapping out what we want this journey to look like. And that's exactly what this guy is here. So these circles are goals as we have them labeled in the tool, but ultimately a goal is a trigger to start or stop automation. What is the milestone that somebody hit? Or maybe it's to drive someone to completing the next step in the journey, whatever that next step might be. We can pretend it's throwing time in your calendar, right? Just for this fake example that's here. But I fill out that start button. I give you all my information. I'm a brand new person. Contact information gets created in the CRM. And then what is the automation, or what is the path that we want to go down next? And in this case, maybe it's to have somebody throw time on the calendar. But we might say, okay, hey, anybody that fills out that start form, maybe I want some segmentation out of the gate, because at a moment's notice, it might make sense for me to say, hey, CRM, pull me a list of everybody that has filled out this form, right? I might want to look at those people and maybe send them a blast or do a call blitz for the day or whatever that might be. But we might have some segmentation that happens outside or, immediately that's there. Maybe I have an email go out right away as well, right? Jonathan, thank you for your interest. A member of our team will be with you shortly. Otherwise, feel free to throw time on our calendar, yada, 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 right? Whatever that process is, once someone fills out that form, we can have that happen, okay? Questions on this thus far?
No, so far so good. That makes sense.
Okay. So we might have one path just for this form, right? 60-day program, I'm interested, we're doing that piece there, okay? Now, this other page, we might say, okay, hey, if someone ends up on this page, we might have specific forms that are associated with each of these buttons that are here. That might take me to a different landing page. It might just take me to a different web form, right? That's there. And you would just have multiple campaigns that look exactly like this associated to each of those forms. Okay?
Got it.
Now, sometimes people say, okay, I want this piece here to be inside of an email. And I want them to click on, this would be a button in an email. Let's say we'd have 4 buttons that are there. Jonathan, tell me who you are. Jonathan, tell me what you're interested in. And there might be one form that someone fills out, and then you want them to tell you what you're interested in which case you can get really fancy with the automation, right? Based on what someone selects in an email, that might determine the path that I go down. I'm brand new. I'm already a subscriber. I'm interested in learning more, whatever that might be. So those 4 options that are in the email, maybe it's combined into 4 different buttons or 4 different journeys if we have one form that somebody goes down, right? In this case, I'm showing it off of a form that's there. It can be the same thing off of, an email selection that somebody makes. So you might have a form. Within that form, there's a drop down or a radio button for somebody to indicate, who do I mean to you today, or what's my level of interest? And based on that choice, that then is going to take them down a different path, right? Automated segmentation, different messaging that you're going to have. So this can really be whatever it is that you guys want it to be, right? And however you want to treat that person when they come into the funnel.
Got it. Good.
Same thing can be on, let's say that you have multiple landing pages floating out there and you're not driving everybody to the form on the website. And let's say it's a Facebook ad, right? I wouldn't necessarily make it look like this. You can make it look cleaner, but you get the idea that you can do the same thing. You can have this massive spider web that's there. I'd probably do it in 2 different workflows just for cleanliness sake of the visuals here. But you can funnel everybody into that same workflow with multiple points of entry that are there. So it can be
Multiple
from
points
the
of
website,
entry.
it can be from a link.
Yeah, so that's what you mean. So multiple entry can be from Facebook, can be from different domains, whatever.
Correct. Absolutely.
Okay. And you guys, so I'm assuming this includes an email, right? An email platform too. That this is a marketing includes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Emails and text messages. So simple blast. It could be simple time delayed messages. It can be those behavior-based emails like we're talking about. So if someone says, you're driving them to book a consult call with you, that's that first email that goes out that's there. You can build a fail-safe process to say, anybody that fills out that form, if in 3 days they don't get back to us, let's hit them again, right? In 24 hours after that, let's hit them again. and it can be a mixture of emails, text messages, and phone, a task for a phone call that's there. It can be all emails, whatever you want that process to be, completely up to you. That's there. So there's, of course, a giant template library for you to leverage, image libraries, as well, so that you guys can make these emails be as beautiful or as simplistic, as you want them to be. Similarly with the landing pages, image libraries, drag and drop builders, all those things are there for you.
We don't need constant contact. So we don't need MailChimp or Constant Contact or.
Nope.
Yeah, got it. Just while I have you on here, so these email templates, is there like an AI where it tells you, put this many, don't put this, like put a 30 character heading or not more, so it doesn't go into spam? Like any suggestions on how to reduce spam?
So it won't necessarily say up your character limit per se, right? However, your general rule of thumb, really in any email service provider, 70-30, 80-20 text to pictures. Super important that's there. So, this wouldn't be, this is okay. I guess I'd probably limit some of the pictures of the cars that are there. But yeah, always 70-30, 80-20 text to pictures that are there. But there are other measures that we would want someone to take to enhance probability of hitting the inbox. So you would want to authenticate your domain first before you start sending out any emails inside of our tool. We have walkthroughs that show you how to do it. Your implementation coach would help you do that for those that are unfamiliar with doing it as well. So basically you'd be saying, yep, I'm Jonathan. I am jonathan.trigg@keap.com. I am sending emails out of Keap on behalf of myself, essentially is what the authentication is doing. And that's just setting that up, some of the domain settings inside of the application that are there.
One of the good things is that there is an implementation coach. So I think that's a big plus. All right. Okay.
Yeah. So you or anybody else that comes on board with Keap, we spend 5 hours with you and you work one-on-one with a coach dedicated to helping your individual business get up and running. We offer group webinars that are free and things like that for people to attend, but any new client of ours, you will go through one-on-one with the same coach the entire time to help you get up and running. That's elements of the CRM. We help co-create your first 3 workflows with you as well. We're not writing your copy. We don't know your business like you guys would, but the skeletal structure of how you might want to treat someone as they come into the funnel, right? We'll mind map that out with you and then actually implement it in the software. And then you guys would go in and plug and play your content.
And I'm sure the implementation coach will have some ideas that we can benefit off of. Like if there's anything like, this is my idea, I'm sure there are more things that we can probably do, which maybe the implementation coach may have ideas on in terms of marketing.
100%.
Yeah.
Yes, it is a kind of a 50-50 split, if you will, of strategy and methodology and then the software, right? Because the software can do a lot of things. These workflows can be super complex, or someone might be managing a sales pipeline in the tool, right? The software can do a lot of things, but especially with respect to automations. If the automation isn't married to the right strategy, it doesn't really matter what the software does. So it is a combo platter of strategy, methodology, and then execution of that by implementing the tool itself.
Absolutely. Everybody needs to have their objectives, why they're doing this, and what do they hope to achieve, and make sure it helps them achieve their goals.
Yes, because someone can go in and say, hey, Gus, I want to sign up for your service, right? I might come in as a referral. I'm a really warm lead, and you don't necessarily need systems to close those type of people, right? Unfortunately, for every business, not everybody's coming in as a warm lead. So what is going to be our process to account for someone not doing what you want them to do, when you want them to do it. How do we keep that education and that nurturing flowing so that if it's not the first time, you know, and it's the fifth touch, the sixth touch down the road, what do we want that to look like for those people, right? And those leads. What is going to be our nurture strategy? What's going to be our client strategy, right? Are there additional business opportunities with these people? Can I get a referral? Can I get a meaningful testimonial that it makes sense to share with others that are there? So the fundamental principles that we try to lay out with each customer coming in for us is, what do we want to do with new leads? What do we want to do with our nurtured leads, right? So the people that weren't ready to buy right now, and that might be months down the road. What's our short-term and our long-term nurture strategy for leads that, you know, don't close with us right away? And then the third kind of pillar of automation, if you will, is that client pillar, you know, like we just talked about. Cross-sell, upsell, if applicable, referrals if applicable, Google review or testimonial if applicable.
And the marketing tracking, like analytics and stuff, everything is there.
Yeah, of course you'll have reporting. You know, obviously this is a sandbox. I don't have anybody that's live in here, but any metric that you would want to glean, opens, clicks, the progression of someone through the workflow, right? Or the multiple people that are through the workflow. So let's say that, this again will be a simplistic example here, but let's say that there's a multi-step process and, you know, ultimately it's the end piece is a purchase, let's pretend, right? So we have this little linear campaign that's here, but you guys will be able to see how many people are within each step, right? And a given workflow that you have, how many people are in it, who's actually in it, right? What are they doing, so that if someone rolls out a campaign and you feel like there's some bottleneck somewhere, right? You can actually visualize a bottleneck and make iterations if you need to, right? People are falling off here. All right, let's go in and analyze why. Is it something that I'm saying in here? Do I not have the right push to get them to take the next step, right? So information or reporting rather is always going to be critical, so that if iterations are necessary, you know when and where to make them. Or if something's killing it for you, maybe it makes sense to copy an entire workflow that's working and repurpose it and use it somewhere else.
How to make it frictionless as much as possible.
Yes.
Okay, so this is an inbound. So this is more like the inbound methodology, I guess.
Yeah, because someone, you know, as a business owner, you're always going to be doing lead generation type activities that are outside of the scope of CRM, let's say. So that could be running Google ads. That could be going to networking events. Maybe it's running social media ads, right? Whatever that is. So we're trying to turn on the faucet, which is our funnel, to fill our bucket full of leads. And our bucket, ideally full of leads, is the CRM, right? We're going to centralize where we house.
Driving everybody into the CRM.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I might see your ad, but if I don't give you my information, right, it's just an ad that I've seen, right? Now, ideally, I give you my information. We need to centralize where we house that data, and then we need to physically do something with that person in some sort of consistent cadence so that I don't fall through the cracks.
Gotcha. Sounds too good to be true, dude. This is, you know, the price is good. Is there anything I'm missing? Like, with what other platforms being more expensive? Like, is there, like, I like it. I don't know. Is it too good to be true? Are we missing something that I don't know of?
Not necessarily. I wouldn't say that it's too good to be true. And obviously I'm sitting here with my KEAP hat on, but there's enterprise platforms that are out there that really don't make sense for a small business owner. And there are CRM tools that are out there. And frankly, there are free CRM tools that are out there, right? But that plays a very small portion in how a business owner should be staying on top of what's going on, right? Because at the end of the day, a CRM, it gives you a place to put stuff, right? Yes, we can be organized, but there is an abyss of the CRM. And so if we are not putting that stuff, which is our people, into some sort of consistent movement that's there, that is how they fall through the cracks, right? So for anybody that has a consultative sales process, that's out there, you're going to have lead records and customer records that are there. So you're going to be logging phone calls, notes, tasks, appointments, tracking your sales pipeline that's there, your typical CRM activities, right? Free tools are going to do that. That's there, or tools that are 20 or 30 bucks a month. What we want to go in and do, and sorry, my internet's now crawling. There we go. Is for anybody that has a consultative sales process, great, let's track and manage the sales pipeline, right? It might make sense to have automation within the pipeline. So if I have a really good appointment with someone, and these, you can have as many or as little stages, as you like, name them whatever you want. But let's say I have someone in the stage of appointment held. Looks like somebody's messing around here with the law office. That's there. And I don't move someone in the send contract in X amount of time, right? If we had a good appointment with this person, maybe the business owner knows that usually I'm sending a contract to someone within a week, right? Well, if I have potential deals in here that are now in here for 8 days, maybe it makes sense for the CRM to throw a task on my calendar to follow up with this person, right?
So it does.
Or maybe it makes sense to have an email go out automatically to this person, right? Hey, Jonathan, we haven't heard back from you yet. Where do we stand with the evaluation, right? So that you're able to just say, this fake Chev contact that's in here, Chev's been an appointment held for 30 days, right? Does it really make sense to have that person in that stage for 30 days? Maybe, but maybe it doesn't, right? And there needs to be automation within this stage. And if Chev has gone dark on us, well, then we drop them in a nurture, right? And then we have a nurture workflow kick
So
off.
let's take that as a practical example. So that person, let's say Chev, so Chev has been there for 30 days with the CRM. Like, do I have to predefine it? Like, do I have to let the CRM know that every 30 days it needs to notify me? Or how does the notification work? Like, I have to predefine like in advance?
Yes. So similar to what you would do and how you would predefine if someone fills out one of these forms, right? And the rules that we want to have happen, it's the same thing within the pipeline. So think of it as a set it up once, set it and forget it, whatever that cheesy infomercial was back in the day, right? So we can say, and this is in the pipeline, it's really easy. So I go in and we have a pipeline stage moved trigger that's here. So if I say, when moving into, if you have multiple pipelines, you'll have a selection process here. So we'll just leave it in the sales pipeline. When moving into appointment held, every single time I move someone into appointment held, we need the end goal that's here.
I see. So if that person didn't do what was required, it won't move them along.
Correct. So we'll say, what was the example that we used?
Like, you know what? Today I got an email. I got an email today, and the email was, "Hey Gus, you didn't do, 1, 2, 3. You didn't do this last thing we asked you to do, and this email is following up to make sure you got that email." So I guess what their CRM is doing is notifying me that I need to move along that pipeline, and I haven't taken an action. So I guess that's not a physical person emailing me. That's most likely the CRM with its predefined instructions trying to move me along the pipeline.
100%. I mean, it should be an automation, right? Because otherwise that sucks for that person, having to go in and look at all of that stuff and then go in and send the email. That's a nightmare. So, but these are great because it can be an email out to the person. It can be an email to yourself. It could be a task in the CRM that's there. And the beautiful thing about this is you can make this whatever you want it to be, right? Let's just pretend we got 3 follow-ups that are there and these timers are whatever. Now, if we've moved to that, send contract stage prior to 8 days, none of this is happening just for me, right? Now, the next person, it might be until day 9 that happens. We bubble them back up, right? And this first reminder is what did it. So this will turn off automatically just for that next person, or it might be the 3rd follow-up, right? So we're creating different fail-safe processes in our automations where everybody gets to have their own little mini choose their own adventure that's unique to them without them knowing it, right? We've set up our workflow rules that are there so that we have a scalable and repeatable process that doesn't take time out of your day to follow up with people. You get to focus on the warmer leads, the hotter leads, the people that are ready to speak with you or potentially ready to do business with you now. And then you got this little personal VA that's working and thinking for you on the back end, making sure that if it's someone in your pipeline, someone coming in from the website, that the right messages are going to the right people at the right time, or we're positioning human beings to be in the right place at the right time when we want human intervention and not an automated message going out, a la the task.
Do you get some small business owners intimidated by all this? Like, I think there's some learning to do. I mean, it's something that needs to be done, in my opinion, because, like, for instance, I need this now. Like, I need to work with something like this. But
yeah,
I mean,
I always think for those that haven't done it before, there's certainly some fear. The fear is usually overcome by they're already feeling pain of people falling through the cracks, or they're feeling the pain of having to spend too much time manually following up with people, being stuck working in the business and not being able to work on the business. So while this might look scary to someone that hasn't done it, there's the other side that they're already experiencing, right? They don't want to hire someone because people are more expensive and they're not as reliable, frankly, as software can be when this is done correctly. And so that is, they have that pain that's there. This can help solve for those things. But the kicker is the coaching. We force people to go through coaching, especially if you haven't if you haven't done something like this before. And force is kind of the operative word, right? It doesn't sound nice. It is nice, but we require that someone does it so that you can hit the ground running with the tool and you're not fumbling around with the software that can help you, but you're trying to learn it and do it on your own. Because guess what? When you're trying to learn and do it on your own, people are falling through the cracks already. You're already spending too much time manually following up with people. Well, the software is going to take a back seat to those things because you got to try to run the business. You got to try to close deals, right? Those things are there. And so inevitably you're 6 months down the road with a half-baked software and you're canceling. And then 3 months later, we're having the same conversation, or you're going to try a different software and the same thing's going to happen again. It's never going to get off the ground because you're stuck doing the things that you're already doing today.
got it. This has integration with WordPress and Wix and Squarespace. Does it work with all of them? Or
it does.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, regardless of somebody's website, the forms can be built on our end, right? Or sometimes people have a specific form builder that they prefer. If someone has WordPress, maybe they just absolutely love Gravity Forms. Cool. Keep it. We can integrate with it. There are cheap integrations that are out there. You don't necessarily need Zapier, or if it's a Jot form integration or something like that, or you can use ours. There's a multitude of ways to go in and connect to the website. So regardless of what someone has, that would be a moot point, in terms of us getting in there and being able to throw our forms on there, connect up to what somebody's doing.
Got it. Now, you mentioned you guys have text SMS too. So let's say what I'm looking at here, can there be like an SMS part of this workflow? Or is it a
It can be.
separate workflow?
Yep. No. So, you know, you might have an email and a text message go out simultaneously, right?
Wow.
That's there. Now, there's a 160 character limit. That 160 character limit is a provider thing, right? So that's kind of your general rule of thumb is 160 characters. There are deliverability of text messages, just like there's deliverability of emails. We have the compliance built in for everybody, so we don't get in trouble. So you don't get in trouble. That's there. So all the opt-outs are already there. But those text messages can be crafted. You know, that's there. So, you know, you got your text message that you might be sending out. That's there, and all these, and they're already ready to go. You know, hi, this is Joe with two guys in a truck, Michigan. You can customize what this looks like, right? That's there, but the yes, stop, the opt-out components that are there.
That is always there by federal law. Yeah.
Yes. If someone's doing it the right way as they should, right? Otherwise, you know, the way the world is text right now. And so for us not to get in trouble, or, you know, someone that's using the tool because they're spamming people through text, just like we all get the spam junk emails that's there, that's got to be in there.
Yeah, got it. I like the texting. Yeah, it's a new thing now. I've implemented text SMS from one of our from our merchant database from Square, and it's been quite very responsive. I'll tell you that.
It's great. You can also quickly, there is something that we call the KEAP business line. A lot of small business owners that we work with, they use their cell phone for everything, right? And by everything, it's they're sharing their personal phone number with leads and customers. This is something that we include in our subscription, but you can have a business phone number that lives on your phone in your local area code that's there. You can call from it. You can receive calls from it. You can have a separate voicemail box that's there. So think of it as kind of like a Google Voice type thing. It's just we offer it, you know, as a part of the service. And you can also text it, and this would be different than an automated text message, but it could be like you and I texting each other back and forth, right? The nice thing about that is I can text from my computer if I wanted to, or I could text from the mobile app. Our text message conversation rolls back up into my contact record in the CRM, which is also nice, right? So if I wanted to have text message templates, I can have a text message template. If I wanted to quickly send over my calendar link for somebody to throw time on my calendar, rather than saying, let me check my calendar, right? We can just throw it in there. That's there. So we have a Calendly type functionality that's in the tool as well. So for those that use their cell for everything, that's there. You can also click to dial out of the CRM from your computer. It'll ring your cell phone, you answer your cell phone, right? And then it's making that outbound call. That's there. So right now it's one number per application. This will continue to grow. That's there. A lot of the solopreneurs, as we like to call them, your one-man shows or your one-woman shows that are there. This tends to be a really good option. Get out of Google Voice and spending the extra $10 a month there, or, you know, get out of giving your cell phone number to everybody.
Gotcha. Looking at the screen here, so I see client and lead. Does the CRM put that, or do we specify that at the beginning?
It can. Good question. These are fixed, these guys here. Personally, I don't like them because they are fixed. And I would prefer that someone use a tag or use a field in the CRM to define these guys here, because this is a fixed piece.
I see.
Again, for those that maybe they haven't used a CRM before, they're just getting started, as some very simplistic segmentation options, that's there. So for those that have experience, I tell everybody, don't use it. And
so we create our own
use
tags.
a field. You create your own tags. You can have up to 100 custom fields on there, drop downs, date fields, radio button, text box, however you want to classify someone, you can classify them that way. And so when you say, hey, we have some people of everybody that likes the color green, and then we have another group of people of everyone that wants to lose weight, and then, you know, this, that, or the other, you can make custom groups, of course. It's really easy to do it. You make whatever your name is, and then any tag or field or combination thereof, you can go in and choose all your filters that you want to have and come up with whatever your custom group might be. So you might have that there. So these 16 fake clients that are here, if I wanted to do something just with this group of people, it's also really easy, right? Click select all. Maybe I want to send them a blast. Maybe I want to add them to a workflow.
Got it. Okay.
So yeah, I generally tell people, you know, don't use this. We might change this as well. We've kind of been hammering product on it, so maybe more to come on that. But otherwise, yeah, use your own tags, use your own fields.
Got it. Gotcha. Okay. I can't think of anything else. This answers most to all my questions. I can't think of anything at this time.
Great. Well, keep me posted if anything comes up that's there, and then, you know, we got more simplistic, or shorter rather, kind of videos that show everything inside of the tool that's there that we can always send over, of course. But yeah, anybody else that might want to take a look at this, we'll have it recorded for you, and it should be good to go.
Yeah, and if you guys can, you know, give a special deal to maybe any of our franchisees or licensees or providers, anybody that is SOZA based, that would also be cool. But we'll leave it till then.
Awesome. That sounds good.
Okay. Well, Jonathan, thanks a lot. I appreciate it. I
Thank
have
you,
your
guys.
email.
Of course. Awesome. Have a wonderful day. Take care.
All right. Thanks.
Bye-bye.